Simple and clean.
Hello everybody in YouTube land. So I am going to be doing a video as part of the Rashid Advanced Guide series for realistically platinum to high platinum players, diamond players, and new master players. This one's going to be focusing on Rashid's different safe jumps. So I'm going to be talking about 7 different safe jumps in this video. One of them is realistically probably one of the best in the game, if not the best, but there's a huge variability in these safe jumps in terms of their quality. As I mentioned, one is really excellent, incredible. Some of them are just pretty good. Others are really not so good at all and questionable whether they're worth doing. So I'm going to sift through these in the video. One thing that I've been pointing out in my previous video talking about shimmy is that shimmy and safe jump should be seen as complements for each other and to each other, in the sense that there's only so many safe jumps that Rashid has in this game. So if you're just relying on safe jumps to protect against YOLO players, you're going to very quickly run out of safe jumps when people recognize what you're doing after they see it the first or second time. So you always want to be using shimmy on your opponent's wake up in addition to maybe some of these safe jumps in order to vary up your play and to protect against YOLO and aggressive players who like to do things like EXDP and wake up supers, right? Whenever they're getting up after you've knocked them down and you're trying to run Oki. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. You want to not just be relying on safe jumps all the time. There's just not that many of them. And in any given match, you'd probably be lucky if you could even find a situation that you're in, because each one is very particular for the safe jump, where you could do maybe more than 1 or 2 safe jumps in either a match or a set against another player. So yeah, always keep in mind safe jumps are a complement to shimmying on wake up in terms of protecting against YOLO players. Okay, safe jump number 1 we're going to take a look at. This is when you have them in the corner, you can start up with a target combo into, as you can see here, the heavy cyclone into the rolling nail. Now this is one that's been talked about a lot from various content creators and others when Rashid first came out. You can jump forward on this, and it's technically seen as a safe jump in the sense that by the time you land, you can block and try to bait an EXDP or a super, as you're seeing here, if we want to watch this again. So here it is. You've got the target combo, hard cyclone, rolling nail, the bait, and punish. Okay. So here's the problem with that. Realistically speaking, this is the worst safe jump in my opinion for Rashid. I think it's trash. I think it's garbage. I don't even recommend doing it, because what's happened is that, I think probably when the game came out and when Rashid was new, people were probably doing this a lot. And so realistically, every time that I've ever tried to do this in a match in the corner, instead of getting a bait for an EXDP or a wake up super, you get this, which is trash. You get people who are ready for it, and they throw you. Now, you might think, why would they do that? It's so stupid to do a throw on wake up. Not necessarily. Not if they know that the safe jump is trash and it's a fake safe jump like this one. And this is a fake safe jump. If you try to actually do this safe jump and actually do a kick with it, the kick will whiff every time. So it's not a real safe jump. People know it's not a real safe jump in the sense that you could actually do a kick on it and it would actually work. And so as a result, you should just avoid this thing like the plague. It's complete junk. As you can see here, it's fake. You can kick all you want, not going to land. Not much value, in my opinion, in a safe jump that isn't a real safe jump. It doesn't work. I think enough said on that one. Okay, safe jump number 2 is almost as worthless as safe jump number 1, in my opinion. Rashid does have a safe jump, technically, where you can do a drive rush into some early hits into the target combo, as you can see here. Let's say he does drive rush, crouching, light kick into target combo, right? Into EX cyclone, into the run kicks, into a medium mixer, right? Okay, after that, you can jump forward, and if the player's YOLO and they want to do an EXDP on wake up, it will miss them if you jump forward. And if they don't do anything, if they just sort of sit there and block, it's free pressure in the sense that you'll be able to kick them and do more pressure. Maybe they won't block for some reason. Maybe they'll get hit. But it has the characteristics of what look like a safe jump here. And what you could do technically after this, as I've talked about before in videos, is you can, since you're in the corner after, right, if they miss you, you can punish them on when they come down off of their 3xDP, and then do a slide into a level 1 and put them back in the corner. And so this works technically as you take them to the corner for both a medium mixer and a heavy mixer finisher. If you jump forward right and they whiff on the EXDP or on a super, you can punish them, you can slide, and you can, with a level 1, put them back toward the corner. Here's the problem with this one that you'll find out if you actually try to do this in real matches. All it takes is the other player pushing forward the slightest little bit, and that happens. You don't have to do anything. Just push forward the tiniest little bit because they see you jumping forward, and now you have put yourself voluntarily in the corner. Sometimes people do this in matches. I've seen it a million times. I think it's incredibly risky, pretty silly, to intentionally put yourself in the corner, unless it's like the very last interaction of a match where they're down to little life left, and you know that they're going to use their super, and you want to sort of bait them. I mean, in that kind of situation, I think it's at best arguable whether it's a good thing or not to put yourself in the corner. But I think there's a discussion that you could have about that or think about it. But just in general, in a match, you don't want to be putting yourself in the corner. So this is what happens on both, whether you're finishing with the medium mixer or the heavy mixer. If you jump forward and they even push forward the littlest bit, you end up in the corner. So for that reason, this is the kind of safe jump that I really don't recommend unless it's maybe the very last interaction in the match and you know they're going to push a wake-up super because they've got nothing left to lose. And in that situation, it's really up to the player whether they want to take that risk or not. Safe jump number 3. This one is actually real, but it has a lot of variation in its utility depending on when you're doing it. This is the target combo and after jumping forward into a heavy kick. Okay, so what's wrong with this? Doesn't work mid-screen if they back rise. You should not be trying to do this mid-screen if you know that the player likes to back rise, because it's just going to miss. So for that reason, it's really not any good mid-screen, but you could say if you're in the corner, this one actually has some utility. Or if you know someone's not going to back rise, for example, Giles who like to sort of push buttons on wake up, or a Blanca, they want to do an EX DP, you might have a reason to try and do this mid-screen. But typically, this is a safe jump that is best left for the corner. As you can see here, they're not going anywhere. So you can actually do your jump heavy kick, block. It is a safe jump, and punish. Okay, it's still arguable how good this safe jump is compared to others. That's why I rank it number 3 in terms of this list from bad to good. And the reason why is, I'll say this, if you're in the corner, right, and you do this, you get your target combo, you jump forward after the target combo. Okay, you're choosing to forego free extra damage after the target combo, right? The medium punch, heavy kick. You're choosing to forego that damage right here. You could do an EX Cyclone into more hits, the run kicks into a finisher. You could do a heavy Cyclone into a light Sky High, or just a jump back heavy kick. Right, if you push back 2 times and with heavy kick as your finisher. Like, there's a number of ways you can finish one of these combos off of a target combo. There's an infinite number of ways, really, that you could finish a combo here. And you're choosing to forego all that damage for the possibility of getting more damage on this target combo. So for this reason, this is an okay safe jump. It's not bad. It actually works. If you're trying to bait an opponent over and over and over who is a hardcore YOLO player, a lot of Blancas like to constantly push EX DP on Wake Up and Giles. Sure, maybe put it in the rotation, but be careful with this one because it's just not very optimal in terms of what you have to give up to try and use it. You are giving up guaranteed damage for the prospect of maybe getting future damage as you jump forward with the safe jump, and that's not really optimal. Safe jump number 4. This one is really not bad. This is a safe jump you could do mid-screen or in the corner. It involves a starter. You could do, let's say, a drive rush medium punch standing. You could do a crouching light kick starting, whatever you want to do as your starter. But in order to do this one, you're going to need to do another medium punch. Let's say if you do a drive rush medium punch to start, this requires the medium punch you just saw there, the second one, and then an EX cyclone, right? After the EX cyclone, you're going to push forward into medium punch as you just saw there, and then you're going to cancel that into a light spike. So this one is actually pretty good because you get some pretty decent corner carry if you connect on it for your 3 bars. You're getting the same corner carry you'd get with any other combo, and you're getting a safe jump too as you jump forward. That actually works. As you can see, it connects on the jump kick into a bunch of other hits. So let's see that again without all of the cuts and stop. Yeah, that's the whole sequence, and it works. It's an actual safe jump you can see there. If the opponent tries to use an EXDP, for example, it works. I like this one overall. I think if there's one thing I don't like about it, it's one disadvantage is it does require some resources in terms of the drive rush at the beginning into the EX cyclone. That's 3 bars of EX, which is quite a bit. And also it's kind of an awkward motion, as you can see here. The drive rush medium punch into EX cyclone is weird because I think that most people are really just used to pressing medium punch into heavy kick because that's his target combo, and then pushing EX cyclone after that. You have to stop this one early. You have to do medium punch, EX cyclone. There's no heavy kick. If you do the heavy kick, it doesn't work. So this isn't, for lack of a better way of phrasing this is an awkward corner carry into safe jump. It works. It works well. It's a little costly. And I think it's the kind of safe jump that people probably will say feels weird to do. But if you can be comfortable doing it, one to consider putting into your rotation, and not too bad. Safe jump number 5. I really like this one. I'm not aware of anyone who's done this with Rashid. I guess I invented it because I've never seen anybody else do it. It's not perfect, but it does have some really good advantages. This is a mid-screen safe jump, and that's really one of the best things about it. It is, you can get it started, as you can see here, with a drive rush. For example, a drive rush crouching light kick is an easy way to get in fast. And then it includes a target combo, as you can see here, the medium punch into the heavy kick. And then you go into an EX cyclone. And what you're going to do is you're going to stop your combo right there. You're not going to do the corner carry because you're setting up a mid-screen safe jump here. You're going to whiff light cyclone after you do EX cyclone, and then you're going to push back and kick, which will shoot you forward, right? And as you're heading toward them, you now have the ability, if you do heavy kick in the air, to hit them with a safe jump that actually works and will give you damage if it connects in the corner here into whatever kind of finisher you want to do. So let's see that again without all of the stops. That's what it looks like. You can see that it actually works too, in terms of if they were to push a super or an EXDP, right? You can block it and then you can light them up after. It's a legit safe jump. Is there any weaknesses to this one? Well, the big strength is that it's a mid-screen safe jump, and characters oftentimes don't have those. So to have a mid-screen safe jump is really quite incredible, I think. If there is a disadvantage, it's that you have to use 3 bars if you're doing a drive rush into a quick button here at the beginning to get it started, and then another 2 bars for the EX cyclone, and you're foregoing damage after that. So you're spending a lot to get it, and you're not finishing up the combo. There's a trade-off here, right? That's a lot to spend for a safe jump to not finish your combo. But if you're playing somebody who is really hardcore YOLO, and you know they're pushing EXDPs left or right and supers on wake up, it really is invaluable to have this kind of safe jump, even if you have to pay a lot to get it. One other thing, this safe jump does not work if you're in the corner. If you're in the corner and you try to do the setup, there's not that space right there that you can see, right, where you're shooting forward into the heavy kick. And so it's just not going to work properly as a safe jump for the corner. This is explicitly a mid-screen safe jump, and it's a very good one, even though it's expensive. Safe jump number 6 is really good. This one is in the corner, and you don't have to do a drive impact first, but it makes the setup probably the easiest to do, because you have to go into a target combo next into a heavy eagle spike. And that's kind of a high-risk setup to do, because if you whiff on the target combo, if it doesn't connect, if they block, let's say. And then you have to decide really quickly if you're going to do the heavy eagle spike or not. And, that's a hard committed move in the corner because it has such a long recovery after. This is why I don't ever do this one unless I have already done a drive impact first. And so what it is, it's the target combo into the heavy eagle spike, as you can see there. And then it's a backdash into a forward jump, into a heavy kick, into whatever finisher you want after that. You can see here, if you watch it all again, it does actually connect on the heavy kick. It's a legit safe jump. If they try to push something on wake up, as you can see here, you can block too. So for that reason, I really like this safe jump. It only works in the corner, but it's a really good one. I can't recommend it enough. It's probably the second best one, I would say, for Rashid that I'm aware of in this game. Safe jump number 7. This is, I think, far and away Rashid's best safe jump and maybe arguably the best safe jump in the entire game. This is one that has to be done in the corner. It requires the target combo for the startup, as you can see here. Well, this is one way to start it up at least. And after you do the target combo, you will do a delayed light mixer, which requires a little bit of timing to get used to. That took me quite a while to actually get comfortable doing that light mixer delayed. But once you get the delayed light mixer juggle here, you will push forward and medium punch, and you will cancel that into a light cyclone, which is down back and light punch, and then you will push back and kick, any kick, and that will push you forward into the jump forward state. Now, this may be Rashid's best safe jump, and arguably the best or one of the best ones in the game, but it's also manually timed as a meaty when the opponent wakes up, and you will do this heavy kick on landing. Now, actually, you can vary this up. You can stop early and push kick and not connect and do a throw. You can stop early by pushing kick and go for a low, like a crouching light kick into more combo damage and start a relatively small damage combo that way. And so you have the ability now to do an overhead with the heavy kick or a throw or a low, which is what makes this so good. And it's a safe jump. So it has all these things that make it so great, but the actual timing itself is something you really got to work on. You'll hear Rashid say, "Oh yeah." And after the shortly after, it's still manual timed, but that's when you're right about the spot where you want to be pushing heavy kick. So then you can go to whatever combo you want after for damage. So let's see that one more time without all of the stops. Target combo, delayed light mixer, forward medium punch light cyclone, overhead, and the rest of the combo. Now, as you can see here in the second clip, if they do an EXDP or a wake up, it is a legit safe jump and you can block and light them up. So for that reason, it's really good. It's also very difficult for beginner and intermediate players to do this and execute it properly because it's a manually timed meaty and it requires pinpoint precision in order to be able to land this heavy kick at the end. Easier to probably just cancel it early and do a throw. But if you want to actually land the heavy kick, then yeah, it's another story. You have to be really on the spot with your timing and work on this, which will require probably a lot of lab hours, but it will pay off in the sense that it is his best safe jump, and it's probably maybe the best one in the game. Okay, so one issue that comes up is that Rashid doesn't have actually really good range with his medium punch if you're trying to do the target combo. If you've got him in the corner, how do you actually hit somebody with the medium punch into the heavy kick if his medium punch doesn't have good range? Obviously, you're going to have to be aware of meaties in the corner that start with the medium punch. There are various meaties that I'll talk about in a future guide for how to do that. But however you get to the medium punch into heavy kick, that's one way to do this safe jump. There is an easier way. The way that I recommend that people do this, if you're just getting to platinum, diamond, or early master, like you're a young master player, and you want to learn how to do his safe jump, and you want to do it the easiest way you can, the easiest way to do this that I'm aware of is just to do a drive impact first, and this is going to set up an easy medium kick. into a juggle light mixer. And from the light mixer, you can push forward and medium punch and then cancel that into the light cyclone, right? And that's going to send you into the same overhead after you push back and kick into the safe jump heavy kick, or whatever other variation you want to do. If you want to go into a throw, or you want to go into a low hit. So yeah, let's see what that would actually look like all together. Drive impact, medium kick, light mixer, forward medium punch, light cyclone, overhead. That's a really easy way to land this. It's really good in the sense that it gets you to the same place you want to be, and you really just have to focus on getting the timing down for the overhead kick. As you can see there, it's the same thing. It still works in terms of if someone wants to do a wake up EXDP, you'll still be able to block it with this safe jump into the overhead if you hold back. Ready for watching. I hope this video was useful in terms of learning about Rashid's different safe jumps from worse to better. There are plenty of them. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you are not subscribed and you want to be, feel free to subscribe. This is the second in a series of advanced guides for Rashid, and I have a number of them that I'm going to do moving forward, probably about one a week. So keep a look out for these in the future. They're going to cover all types of things related to Rashid in the mid screen in the corner, and talk to you all soon.